Have you subscribed to the channel? If not, what are you waiting for? Please press the red button and subscribe. I just want to congratulate this video that I picked up, and it's got a little bit of information, the way he narrates everything in his video. I just want to say congrats to this man. And in his channel, I did even try to subscribe because I saw that he was narrating very important information about what Sibiya is doing, or what Sibiya is capable of doing, allegedly. So let us listen to this guy, then we'll go on, and I will put my conclusion at the end, what my opinion is about everything. Let's listen.
Signs of impact, suggesting something more sinister, especially given the involvement of crime intelligence elements. Sibiya's refusal to wait for postmortems or expert reconstructions has fueled suspicions, particularly since the constables were missing for 6 days before discovery. Sources in the security cluster insist too many unanswered questions remain, making it premature to dismiss external involvement.
The car has not been found as yet.
No, we are still investigating. We are still tracing.
Let's suppose that the accident happened on Thursday morning. Today it's Tuesday. We have found the bodies, but we have not found the car. Isn't that strange?
Yeah, for us, yes, we can't exclude anything. It's a bit strange, but we are looking. We are investigating and looking for the vehicle. In fact, we found other 2 vehicles here downstream,
and that's where my next question comes. Isn't it strange that all of a sudden there is vehicles being found here? I mean, this area now seems to be accident prone. Now that vehicles are falling in and you are finding bodies in here. Isn't that strange? I mean, I'm just asking for...
I can't say...
This case echoes patterns in Sibiya's past, where he arrives early and shapes narratives in ways that close off further inquiry. Perhaps the most damning allegations against Sibiya come from the murder of Senzo Meyiwa, the beloved soccer player killed in October 2014 at a home in Vosloorus on Johannesburg Sea Strand. Meyiwa was with friends and his controversial girlfriend Kelly Khumalo when the incident occurred, leading to charges against 5 men for premeditated murder, attempted murder, robbery, and illegal possession of firearms and ammunition. The accused include Muziga Ukhulelwa Sibiya, Bongani Ndanzi, Mthobisi Mncube, Mthokoziseni Maphisa, and Fisobuhle Ntuli. Conflicting theories have swirled, with some pointing to singer Kelly Khumalo as potentially involved, either as a mastermind or accidentally, while others suggest Longwe Twala, son of music producer Chico Twala, may have used a gun in the house. 2 of the accused have claimed Khumalo paid them 100,000 rand for the act. Central to the suspicions is Shadrach Sibiya's role. As head of the Hawks at the time, he was among the first senior officials at the scene, arriving before forensic expert Sergeant Thabo Mosia, who got there around 20 minutes past midnight. Mosia was called by Brigadier Pileni Ndlovu, who was already there, and Sibiya is accused of participating in a meeting with other high-ranking officials, including former Gauteng safety head Sizakele Nkosi Malobane, hours before Mosia's arrival. This gathering allegedly planned how to handle the scene, with Ndlovu assigned to guide Mosia. Mosia testified that he moved 5 adults and 2 children to a bedroom to preserve the area, but defense questions highlighted inconsistencies, like why no photos were taken inside that bedroom. Allegations surfaced that no survivors were actually present when Mosia arrived, as they had left to sleep at Chico Twala's home in Mulbarton. The defense argued the scene was staged, with evidence planted, and Sibiya's early presence allowed for tampering. Mosia denied this, saying the scene was intact and survivors were there, but he admitted Ndlovu pointed out items, despite not being a forensics expert. Mosia left at 2 a.m. and returned at 5 a.m., staying until 1 p.m. the next day. Even during his 2015 suspension for unrelated issues involving illegal deportations, Sibiya remained involved in the Meyiwa case. In 2019, as a civilian after being fired, he met with officers and a witness, Constable Sizwe Kumbuzo Zungu, who shared information linking suspects. Sibiya confirmed the details as accurate and suggested involving another investigator, despite his non-official status. He was reinstated in 2020 after an appeal, but his continued meddling raised eyebrows. In 2018, amid cover-up claims, Sibiya denied seeing the docket, saying it was handled by detectives, yet evidence shows his deeper engagement. These elements suggest Sibiya influenced the investigation from the start, potentially destroying or altering evidence to protect certain parties.
You say that present at that meeting with Lishabane was also General Sibiya present, correct?
Yes.
And you state that at the time, General Sibiya was the head of works in Gauteng, correct?
I was informed by the general that he was the head of the horse.
Now, if I inform you that at the time of this meeting, that is in 2019, General Sibiya was fired from, at the time he was already fired from the SAPS. He was only reinstated in 2020.
I heard that thereafter.
So in essence, at the time of this meeting, Sibiya, who's also interested in this matter, was a civilian. He was not an officer of SAPS, correct?
Yes.
And you state that him, Sibiya, told you that the information that you had relayed to the police was correct and accurate, correct?
Yes.
Now, as a civilian, how will you have known that information is correct?
I wouldn't know as to how he got to know, but what I knew at the time was that he was a police officer.
The defense, led by now disbarred advocate Malesela Tifo, pushed this narrative, claiming the scene was managed to mislead. Tifo, who represented for accused before his disbarment, seen by some as an effort to silence him, alleged a conspiracy involving Sibiya to contaminate the site. Though Mosia stood by his work, the questions persist, especially with no introductions to other officers present and the unusual senior-level meeting beforehand. Tying all this together, Sibiya's pattern appears consistent: quick arrivals at scenes, hasty conclusions that deflect blame, disbanding teams on the cusp of arrests, and interventions that benefit connected figures like Matlala and Brown Mukhotsi. In the AKA case, his unprovoked lies about Mkhwanaz's role seem designed to shift credit and perhaps cover his own tracks. Mkhwanaz's firm stance against such actions underscores a divide in SAPS, where one side fights for transparency and the other seems to guard secrets. As of today, these developments continue to unfold, with Sibiya on leave and investigations into the allegations gaining momentum. The public watches closely, hoping for accountability in a system meant to protect everyone.
It's disgusting. Yeah, but I want to stick on the Senzo Meyiwa's case because it's where I feel like I have to speak much about that one. You know, in the Senzo Meyiwa case, Sibiya was the first to get his hands dirty in the Senzo Meyiwa, where in the scene of crime. Let me put it like that. Sibiya was there because Sibiya came. They were there with Lishabane and Sizagele Malobane, who was an MEC by then. These people should be called. More especially if Sizagele Malobane is still alive. We want to know what was discussed, what happened when they got in that scene of crime. This person has to, the defense should call this lady to come and explain if she is still alive. We don't know because a lot of people have disappeared in a mysterious way. People who saw exactly what was happening in the scene of crime, they just disappeared in a way that we can't even tell what really happened to them. And Thabo Mosia, the way this guy is explaining how Thabo Mosia came into the scene, he was alone. Whatever he did by then, it is, and the fact that the defense had the record of Sibiya and Lishabane were right at the scene, including Sizagele Malobane. These people are the people who are supposed to give direction as to exactly. And now that he has been suspended, for whatever reason that he has been suspended, but his hands are full of mud. They are dirty. Allegedly, they are dirty. Sibiya's hands are dirty. He's got a lot to say because what now I see is happening. The case of Senzo Meyiwa has taken another shape. You know, in our culture as Africans, we always say only the body dies, but the spirit of the person lives. If ever you did something to that person, or you killed him, or you did whatever, you will never have rest. We heard Kelly that he went to one of the traditional healers for cleansing because she was feeling that She didn't have rest. Something was bothering it because the spirit of a dead person will always engulf you, will sit on you, causing a lot of problems because until you confess, then it's when the spirit of that person will leave you. Now, all these people who had their hands in the cookie jar in the Senzo Meyiwa case, now we are seeing the spirit of Senzo Meyiwa is now hunting each and every person who was part and parcel of whatever happened. We are still going to see a lot. We saw Baba Zungu, which is Absalom Zungu, the father. This thing is like, it's taking another shape now. Ngomezulu disappeared in a mysterious way, Advocate Ngomezulu, who was onto this case and he was revealing a lot of things because he had a lot of information. At some point, he came up and said, okay, what the defense have, the prosecutors do not have it. So he tried to make them aware that they have collected a lot of information. But for them knowing that we started to see a lot of things happening to Ngomezulu, he was not granted money for legal aid because he was on the case. So those powers that were behind that didn't want Ngomezulu to go to get the money from legal aid. At the end, when Mnisi had to take down the case, now money was released from Mnisi, Advocate Mnisi. Even then, when they released the money for Advocate Mnisi, they thought Mnisi was weak. They realized very late that Mnisi was also a strong advocate. Now they are really confused because Mnisi has become another Mgomezulu. There's always some kind of saying that when you close one door, the other door opens. So you can only kill a person, but you cannot kill the idea. So now what we are seeing here, we are seeing the game playing now. And the game, the way it's playing now, you can see that this case is going to take us somewhere. And for Sibiya to be out now on suspension, I wish the defense will call Sibiya and again call I don't know whether Leshabane is still alive, but Sizagele Malobane should be called if she is alive, because it will help build the fabricated case against this accused there, so that the judge can start to understand, because he puts on a hope because of a position of a person that, okay, because this person is a brigadier, he must be well trusted, because Baloyi is an advocate who has built his career over time. He cannot just jeopardize it that way. That is what comes from the judge's mind, which is right. But now what we are seeing here, we're seeing a game being played. I really feel like the suspension of Sibiya can easily bring closure to this case, as long as Sibiya will be called to come and testify here, and Lishabane testify, if he is alive, and Sizagele Malobane. That is when we're going to see things taking shape. And Msia should be recalled again. I think that one is still alive because he did testify. But Sizagele Maloban should be brought into court to come and tell the court what was the meeting about. Why did they come? Because Sibiya was no more a police by then. How did he put his hand in the cookie jar, coming to play that he even trusted the evidence that was given by Zungu, Constable Zungu? What was his role there? We want to know, because he was not working for the police by then until he was reinstated. But at that moment, at that time, he was not playing any role on the project. He was just somebody who had nothing to do with whatever was happening there. So family, what do you think about this? Drop your comment. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Bravo to the guy who tried to narrate this evidence. I say kudo to him, and I really like the way he was narrating everything, putting it one by one, showing the evidence, how everything played out. This was fantastic. So family, what do you think? Just drop a comment. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let us continue to put the heat on until the family of the Senzo Meyiwa get closure on this case, because without closure, this is not going anywhere. Bravo, bravo, bravo.